You want to support Roland Martin Unfiltered? Be sure to join our Bring the Funk fan club. Every dollar that you give to us supports our daily digital show. There's only one daily digital show out here that keeps it black and keep it real. It's Roland Martin Unfiltered. Support the Roland Martin Unfiltered daily digital show by going to RolandMartinUnfiltered.com. You can make this possible. Folks, Jeff Sessions lost his bid to reclaim his Senate seat to Republican and Trump-backed candidate, former football coach Tommy Tuberville. In November, the battle will be between Democratic Senator Doug Jones and Tuberville, who previously coached at Auburn, Texas Tech, Clemson as well. Joining us right now is Senator Doug Jones of Alabama. Senator Jones, glad to have you back.
Good to see you, Roland. Take care. I hope everything is safe and healthy with you, you and your family.
Indeed, indeed. You've got Democrats who are saying your seat is a lost cause. They're saying that, look, Republicans are going to win this seat. You barely won in a special election. Howard Dean, though, tweeted yesterday that current polling data shows you tied with Tommy Tuberville at 46%. What do you say to those Democrats who say it's a waste of money and time and effort to rally people to vote for you because Republicans are simply going to win it? Trump will win, Alabama running away.
I say two things. First of all, they're wrong. They were wrong in 2017. They're wrong again. We know the numbers. We've been doing the work. You know, Roland, Democrats have written off the South for far too long. And we've never been given a chance. But I think, in Alabama, we hadn't had a Democrat run for the Senate that had any financing with him for a long, long time. I mean, literally for a long, long time. First Democrat that we ran statewide with a platform was me, with resources to win an election, and our message got out, and we won that election. Now, I know that the theories about flawed candidates, but the fact of the matter is we got a message that resonates with people. It's about working folks. It's about health care. It's about jobs. It's about economy. But right now, it's also about leadership in the midst of a crisis. Tommy Tuberville doesn't offer anything other than being Donald Trump's guy. Whatever Donald Trump wants, that's what he's running on. I'm running because I've got the people of Alabama's back, and people need to pay attention to that. Second of all, and this is really important, it really disturbs me that Democrats consistently if you want to write somebody off, they just write them off and they move on. That's why we don't have a bench of strength in the South that we're trying to grow. We've got to make investments in the South and across this country with Democrats that are willing to stand up, speak out, be Democrats, and put forth a message that people can resonate with. That's the only way we're going to win elections. We're not going to win it by people who just are simply walking up to a slot machine and trying to play the odds or the craps tables or something. We've got to make investments in the South and in Alabama. And fortunately, I've got more people that want to make those investments and want to help and believe in our candidacy than we've got people who are just writing us off. That's why we're going to win the race in 2020.
When you talk about those investments, at the end of the day, it's turnout. You got to mobilize, organize, register folks, and get them to the polls. Right. There are a significant number of people. When you and I were together, we were the Black Journalists with a board meeting in Alabama. It was in December. You told me an astronomical number of unregistered folks in Alabama, and a significant number of black folks in Alabama, home of Bloody Sunday, the Voting Rights Act.
Right. Yeah. Now, hang you misspoke a little bit. It's not that they're unregistered. We got a fair amount of those. What we've got is a significant number of registered voters who have never cast a ballot. I mean, we're talking 400,000 or 500,000 African-American voters who have never cast a ballot, even though they've been part of the movement that we registered. So I think the challenge we've got, Roland, is to not only register young people and get people back on the polls, on the rolls that have been purged. We've got to get people engaged to get out to vote. That's where I think I've got this advantage. People in Alabama before 2017 just did not think that their vote mattered. I'm exhibit number one of every vote counts and your vote matters. And so it's that engagement that we're working on. We've been working on it for 2.5 years since I got there. We're going to continue to work on it in November.
You're running against a guy who's his qualification, he was a football coach.
Well, look, I don't think we want to put it that way. I think the bigger problem is that he really doesn't have a clue about how to lead in the world of politics. He doesn't have a real clue for just about simple things like the Constitution and the checks and balances that the Senate and the members of the House are supposed to have on the administration. He has literally said that he moved to Alabama about 18 months ago because he believed that God sent Donald Trump to America to save America. And he moved to Alabama because he thought that that was the best opportunity to get elected to help Donald Trump. Not the people of Alabama, but to help Donald Trump. So we've got a lot of things. He said early on, and then we just issued a press release on this. You know, our governor issued a mask order, a statewide mask order yesterday, Republican governor, and I applauded her for doing it. You know, it's something that's badly needed. Early in this pandemic, you know, Tommy Tuberville, when asked what he would do about this healthcare crisis, he said, literally, I don't have a clue. Well, yesterday, he started undermining the mask order, saying that the government should not be doing that. For whatever reason, the government shouldn't be telling people what to do. So I think it's just the inexperience, and also I think he's not prepared at all for the role of a United States Senator.
When you talk about, when you talk about those people, how do you reach those people? Those are huge numbers. That's the difference between winning and losing. How do you convey to them why they should support you in November?
Well, because I've got their back. We've been reaching those people, Roland, for the last 2.5 years. Make no mistake, we've got a strong Democratic solid base in Alabama that we have also been reaching out to. We've done things on maternal and infant mortality. We've done things on civil rights and voting rights. I've spoken out about Black Lives Matter. We read Dr. King's letter on the Birmingham jail. My base knows that I'm there for them, but we've also been reaching out to people all over the state. We've done things for veterans, for farmers, for teachers, for educators, for healthcare workers, for first responders. We've done things for all over the state, and that is, we've been reaching out to those folks for the last 2.5 years, listening to them, talking to them, listening to them, helping them with the issues that they've got that they face every day. That's how we get through to those folks. Those folks know and understand, or at least there will be enough of them that I believe know and understand that they want a senator that's from Alabama, that's got their back, and no one else's. And that's what I've been able to do in the last 2.5 years. All right,
let's go to my panel. First off, Greg Carr, your question.
Senator, thank you. I wish we had time for me to ask you what you think about the death of Thomas Blanton Jr., since you helped send him to jail, thank God. But I want to ask you about this race against Tuberville in this sense. Tuberville really didn't have a declared political affiliation until late. When he was at Ole Miss, he said they need to take down the Confederate flag. It's killing us in recruiting. Would your strategy in this campaign be to force him farther right into Trumpism, or to maybe attempt to tack toward his Trump light kind of attempt? I mean, in other words, how do you plan to define a guy with no definition who's only got some things like a hedge fund mess up and some kind of wavering politically? How are you going to slug Tuberville in terms of trying to get him to define himself, or for you to define him coming forward?
You know, Greg, he's already defined himself. He defined himself by simply saying, essentially, I will do whatever Donald Trump asked me to do. That, regardless of, I guess, whether Donald Trump is president or not, that has defined him. He has defined himself. He has not spoken about any issues. He has not talked about anything that people face at their kitchen tables. All he has talked about is to drain the swamp, no amnesty, build a wall. He has defined himself. So I don't think we really have to do that. What we've got to contrast is my record in the United States Senate and my record in my career as a lawyer and as a prosecutor, my record in the Senate going forward versus what he has done in the past. All of those things are fair game. You know, and it's interesting you bring up the Confederate battle flag because, you know, think about that. He didn't want to remove the Confederate battle flag for the right reasons. He just wanted an advantage in recruiting, or not to get a disadvantage, you know, which the battle flag got gone, which is a good thing. But think about that. And so he's been really quiet about all of that controversy right now. So we're not going to let him move. We're going to build that wall between him right now so he can't jump back over it.
Yes, sir.
Erica.
Yeah, thank you so much, Senator Jones, for being with us today. So my question is that Tommy Tuberville is a birther. He is also a person that, as of 2019, was repeating some of the same candidate Trump at the time lines about folks that were coming into the country, about them bringing drugs and bringing disease. So connecting all of that to the win of your campaign was largely because of Black women who organized and who did mobilize. What direct messaging are you providing to those 400,000 or 500,000 people who have not yet cast a ballot? When in the state of Alabama, you have Black mayors like in Montgomery, Mayor Reed, in Birmingham, Mayor Woodfin, that are in those offices for major cities. What is your strategy? How are you communicating with those particular voters who, when you think about the numbers of people that reside in Birmingham and Montgomery, come close to that number? How are you communicating directly with those voters to get them to a place where they're actually casting a ballot in this COVID environment?
Well, I think the latter part of that is the challenge. Now, clearly we are reaching out on social media. We're reaching out in telephone town halls. We're reaching out in every phone call we can. We're getting the churches engaged. We're getting community leaders engaged. So we've got a ton of surrogates, and we're going to have to rely on a lot more surrogates this year than we did in 2017 because I was traveling all over the state, and some folks would go with me. We're going to have to rely on a lot more of that, I think, coming up in 2020. And they're there. They want to help. They're trying to do that. I think the challenge is what you just said. Alabama is a state where it's very difficult to cast an absentee ballot. Now, there's some lawsuits pending that I hope will get some relief for that. But if we don't, it's going to be a challenge making sure people feel safe and healthy, or either trying to get that absentee ballot to them. This is all, I'm just candid about this. It's a work in progress because you really can't judge from a very low turnout race that occurred this week. But as we go forward, we've got city and county races across the state. They're going to be coming up in August. So we're going to be watching that and monitoring the polling places to see where that goes. And then we're going to start kicking into high gear to reaching out to folks. But it is the excitement. And I think every day that this pandemic hits, when we see the leadership from Randall Woodfin, from Stephen Reed and those mayors and others and those local officials taking the lead, who are then going to end up being surrogates for Doug Jones, I think that is going to be a major way that we're going to get the enthusiasm out there. And the challenge will be just the logistics of getting those ballots cast.
Last question. Reese Colbert.
Hi, Senator. Thank you for being here tonight. I'm curious, how much do you think that your race is going to be more of a referendum on Donald Trump as opposed to your opponent? And if it is a referendum on Trump in basically Trump country, do you think that will work towards your advantage or work against you?
That's hard to say. I don't really know if my race will be defined by Donald Trump. We don't know that yet. Right now, I think his numbers are down everywhere, including Alabama. I think people are looking for leadership. But Alabama's got a fairly independent streak. I don't think you can really look at the past few presidential elections. Our Democratic Party has just not competed in the last 20 years in many, many races at all. And so I think now that we have worked to get new leadership, we've got the first African-American as the chairman of the Alabama Democratic Party, Chris England. I think that what we're going to see is that people are going to get that independent streak back. And again, Tommy Tuberville has just simply said, I'm going to be the one that has the president's back or Donald Trump's back. And I have been going around this state even before Tuberville moved to Alabama to run for the Senate, telling people of all walks of life in every zip code saying, I've got your back. Let's talk. I think that's really what's going to carry the day. Even people that may vote for Donald Trump are going to be a little uncomfortable with his tweets. They're going to be uncomfortable with some of the leadership that they've not seen during this crisis. And they're going to want somebody, not just completely as a check, but they want somebody that's got their back, that's going to do those things for them that they know is appropriate, even if the president is not doing it on a national level.
All right, Senator Doug Jones, always a pleasure. Look forward to having you back before the campaign. Hopefully, if things open up, which I doubt, part of our deal was to do one of our shows down in Alabama, but we'll hopefully see what happens. But certainly look forward to having you back.
Thanks, Roland. Appreciate it. Good to talk to you.
All right, thank you very much. All right, folks, Senator Doug Jones of Alabama. All right. All right, folks, Ceek.com. These headphones here, these 360-degree 4D headphones. Mary Spio, she is the founder and the creator, the inventor of this. You can get these, folks, the 360-degree 4D headphones, good for listening to music, videos, gaming, you name it. All you got to do is go to Ceek.com. There's a promo code you can use, RMVIP2020, RMVIP2020 for you to get this. Also the VR headset, so you can check out the products there on Ceek.com. And so check it out. And so we certainly appreciate them partnering with us at Roland Martin Unfiltered.